Morning Discord, morning YouTube. Let's get into it. Okay. Excuse me. So we see we're consolidating within this range here. I want to see if this thing's gonna move up, I want to see a strong move. Okay, I want to see a strong move, a retest of level. It needs to look something like this, or like this, something like that. Other than this, you're in this range, and you're okay with buying and selling within this range. Okay, back to the action. Strong momentum candle on the way down. All right, we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait for some continuation here. We're gonna have to wait for continuation. We don't want to bite on these early candles just yet. Okay, so we might be starting a significant bear cycle here. We gotta wait to see. We might be getting below the water, opening the legs on the 30-minute as well. So look, we're in this range here. Just wait 1 second. Don't jump at every little candle. Let's let, you know, we're gonna let 1 or 2 cycles go by. It's probably the safest bet. Discord members should be guiding off the 5, okay? So let's wait for a strong move, a retest, and a reject of these levels. I know, there's the FOMO, I get it. I get it. If you're looking for some safety, quote unquote, you need to wait for you need to wait for this. If you want some safety, we need to break this level. We need to retest the level and reject off the level. That's how we're gonna know who's gonna win, bulls or bears. That all of that needs to happen. If none of that happens, then you don't have a trade. Now, would it be nice to catch the very top? Sure, it would be. I get it. But, you know, at this point here, you know, you just need to have the experience to know when to take early morning trades and when to sit back. So we're just going to stick to the strategy. We're going to wait for our entry. If anything, we'll wait for a weak bear cycle, a weak bull cycle. We'll wait for a weak bull cycle if necessary, and we'll look for our setup. But we don't want to get caught in the chop like yesterday. Yesterday was just within that range. So let's break that range for some safety. Let's at least break the range so we know we have some type of direction, and then we're going to look for the setup. Let's see if we stay inside this selling channel here. All right, we're testing key level. If it wants to head up, wait for this over here. And then when we do get up here, we want to see a strong candle or some strong momentum pushing us up, and then we're going to wait for the retest and the reject. So we'll see how we react to magenta. If we stay inside magenta, like this, something like that, we got to see how we react to magenta. Looks like we're getting pretty good price action this morning. Market's seeming to move. And it's moving the way we like it. Now, if we do get a weak bull cycle, let's see if it stays inside of magenta, underneath magenta. We'll see. We're gonna test to see if we're gonna build in purple and then break of magenta for the up. That's what we're testing so far, so we need to test it. So just be patient. We're almost back at market open. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss a thing. Let's see how this bull cycle goes. Again, if you're in this range, you're agreeing to the price in here. Our 5 day is not that far away. The 5 day is at 67.76. So we're not that far away from the 5 day. So this has to be a 1. This is the 1 because we're still inside of our range. It's still early morning. We're still within our 15-minute window, so this has to be a 1. If we get higher up, then I'll start making it a 2. It'll be a 2 when it gets somewhere up here. You see how the market's moving, so you got to be in and out. You can't overstay your welcome. Or we're gonna wait for some structure to build. Everything's gonna get easier. Just got to give it time. All right, we see we have a lot of resistance at 71.53. Let's see if we break this resistance or if it stays inside underneath. We're basically at market open. You didn't miss anything. Let's just wait. Let's let the market tell us what's going to happen. We don't need to have a bias, because the truth is it doesn't matter. Whether it goes up or down, it doesn't matter. So having a bias is irrelevant here. You don't know if someone's going to click the sell button. You don't know if someone's going to click the buy button. So there's no sense in having a bias. I'll illustrate this point later on. Once this early morning volatility settles down, I'll illustrate my point. To see, you see why it's a fool's errand to try to have a bias. So let's see how we react to 71.54. And then you're probably going to think, well, why don't I just catch it from here? Because you have to measure your risk to reward. From the break of this magenta, let's say 71.71, your reward, you can only ask for up to here, because that's all we know. That's all the data we have. So if it happens, good on you. But I recommend if you're gonna take this magenta, you gotta chase this. You gotta chase it. Your safety is gonna be somewhere over here, somewhere by 73. All right, we're gonna see if we get below the water on the 30-minute, and then if the legs start to spread apart. We like when those legs start to spread apart. Remember, if you're trading in this range, you're agreeing to the price. You're agreeing to the price in here if you're trading in this range. This is why we wanted to test to see if we stay inside of this magenta here. Now we're gonna see if this is gonna maybe make a little tiny. No, it didn't really. Tried to force it. Maybe a little tiny cup and handle. That's the only thing I could think. But otherwise, you're in magenta until you're not. I might have to adjust this a little bit. Let me see if I adjust it, what it looks like. No. It needs to be where it was. It needs to be where it was. That'll be too self-serving to make it try to look pretty. That's where it needs to be. I know it broke a little bit and it doesn't look perfect, but this is how it needs to look, so. All right, so we want to see if we have a rejection inside of magenta and maybe also a weak bull cycle. All right, let's see if we stay inside blue or break magenta still inside blue. We want to see who's going to win this. We want to see who's going to win this little battle right here. So if you're taking break of blue, you can only ask but for so much, right? You can only ask but for so much, because you see where the support is. You see where the support is, you see the resistance is. Let me highlight it. Once we get past this, different story. But until then, we're still in here. I'm gonna highlight it just a bit. So you see the range highlighted, and then you see the secondary liquidity in pink. Discord members, they know what secondary liquidity is, so now we gotta watch out for this, and then maybe this, and then let's see if we get this on the way out. So we want to see who's going to win in here. Is it going to be this guy here or this Head and Shoulders? You see the two competing microstructures? These are the two competing microstructures. Let him battle it. Let him fight it out. I believe there to be a secondary liquidity up in here, so careful. Let's see if we get this weak bull cycle. Let them battle it out. You don't have a bias here, right? There's no way you could possibly know which one's going to happen. Let them battle it out. It'll happen. And then again, risk to reward while still inside the range. That's on you. If you're trading inside the range, that's on you. You are fully aware that there's a range between 72.40 and 70.49. Don't let it wick on you. Don't let it get wicked. Don't let it get wicked on you. You gotta wait for the close. Don't let the wick catch you. I think it still has 10 seconds on the candle. Let's check higher time frame. $30 minutes is sideways. 30 minutes is completely sideways. Let them battle it out. Don't have a bias. Let them battle. You gotta wait till the close of the candle, remember. Not a wick. Close. If you're trading in the range, you're okay with the price. Just remember that. You see where the actual setup is, right? It's actually this one or this one. Somewhere here or somewhere here. If you're trading in this range, that's on you. We're doing this to show you an exercise in liquidity. That's why we're doing this in here. So technically we're still below the water. Now we're at zero. We're at the zero line. So let them battle it out. We don't need to guess. They'll tell us. And then you'll know what, you know, you'll have an idea of how much to expect you can get from it. Meaning to the next key level, right? If it breaks down, to the next key level. If it breaks up, to the next key level. That's all you can ask for. So you got to measure risk or reward. You're pretty much literally in the middle of the water here. Wow, look, it didn't close. It didn't close. It stayed inside. Well, still got 43 seconds on the candle. 40 seconds. This is what I call stress-free trading. You don't have to worry about it. The market will tell you. Let them tell you. Don't front run it. The market will tell you everything you need to know. Just gotta allow it to happen. Let me clean up the chart just a bit. Let them battle in here. So this candle closed inside a blue. Let me zoom in. Oh God. This candle closed inside a blue. This candle still on blue, right? It didn't close outside of blue. So we're still inside blue, right? You see the close of the candle at the top on the green? This is the close of the candle on the top. Now let's see what we got. Here's your lick box. This is sideways, right? You see the chop. You see the chop. Allow one thing to happen. We need to break out of this range. This is just an exercise in liquidity. If you're trading inside this range, that's on you. Clearly identified what needs to happen. Let's see what happens when it breaks the liquidity box one way or the other. This is completely sideways. There's no direction whatsoever. Your best bet, set alerts for these key levels right here. Set an alert. It's gonna be your best bet. Right now, inside of this range, this is the real challenge right here. This is our challenge right up in here. If you got froggy and you decided to jump in the middle of chop, in the middle of a range, that's fine. Just be patient. The market will reveal itself and you will see clearly the direction. Now is not the time when you start revenge trading. Like, now is not the time where, let's say you went in on puts here and then you're like, oh no, it's going up, and then let me buy calls now. Now is not the time for that. When you start revenge trading because, oh, okay, well, I was wrong here, it's gonna go the other way. You know you're in a range, right? They know that you know that you're in a range. That's what I'm saying. If you're trading in here, you're okay with the price in here. So now is not the time to revenge trade. Now is when you say, okay, I had my thesis, I took my shot, now I need to wait for the next setup. The next setup is nowhere near, and look, you know what the setup is, right? You see the setups. It's highlighted. So, and it doesn't mean you quit for the day. It means you're patient now. Now there's blood in the water. Now there's blood in the water. We've identified the chop. Cool. Now we're gonna wait for direction. This is just an exercise in liquidity to show you what I'm talking about. Eventually, one of the algos are gonna get triggered, and then it'll go. Eventually, it's gonna happen. It's going to happen. Just gotta be patient. Just be patient. I'm here. I'm just being quiet. Look, set your alerts. You don't have to sit here all day and try to figure out the stock market. Set your alerts. The market will tell you. I'm just gonna scoot this over. So I'll just make a copy of it. You can't trade in here, right? There's no trade in here. There's no setup. Our setup is somewhere up here, somewhere down here. That's the setup. Watch, we're about to learn the lesson on liquidity. Let's see. Or if they're gonna fake out. It's tough in this range. We already know we're in a range, so the range has to break. They're fighting here. You don't want to be a part of that battle. Let them figure it out, and then we'll jump on the wave. Just be patient. We're in no rush to burn money. Just be patient. You have your alerts set. You got nothing to worry about. You'll know who wins when whichever alert is triggered, and then we'll wait for the setup. But you're about to learn that lesson, liquidity. Here we go. Look, here's the lesson. So if you took blue, let's say you took blue. When is it? It closed here on blue at 30. You put your stop above your last high. You embrace the retrace, and then you're able to come out with some profit, right? This is what I teach from the homework. This is lesson, damn, I want to say 8. This is lesson 8. You took blue, you put your stop above the last high. Now you can make money or stop out for what is it? Break even, whatever it is. Take profit, stop out, break even. You know you're in a range. This is the homework right here. It happened. So you had time to to do whatever you needed to do if you follow the strategy. Now, in a tight range, this is what I said. This is the exercise in liquidity, just to show you what I'm talking about. This is an exercise in liquidity. It would be a different story if we're outside the range. But just to show you, it works. Just to show you it works even in a tight range. If you stick to the strategy, you have a better chance of success. It's right here, lesson 8. You take the break of blue, you put your stop above the last high, you embrace the retrace, break, retest, reject of blue, and now it's a winner. Right? This is in the homework. I told you this is gonna. I told you here comes the lesson. I'm gonna teach you a lesson in liquidity. This is how it works. This is just how it works. We identified the blue, and that was it. Nothing more needs to be said. This is how it works. And I told you, if it breaks blue, you can only ask but for so much. Where did I say? To 70.49. That's all you can ask for. You're still in this range. Does that, everyone see it? Okay, so now you know. That's fine. I know it's rough. But we can't let one or two opposite candles scare us out from the strategy. You have a much better, because I know what you're thinking, right? You're thinking, stop the bleeding now, stop the bleeding now. I get it. We all have that same exact fear. Whatever you're thinking is the same exact fear. However, you've seen time after time after time that the strategy works. No matter how you try to slice it, the strategy is gonna work. Here, look, if you're looking for an entry, watch out for this. All right, alert got hit. Now we're gonna wait for the setup, right? How do I take this off? Now you gotta wait for the setup. Alert hit, now we're waiting for the setup, right? Now we need to see another blue form over here. We gotta wait for this blue to form and then have it break. This is how liquidity works. And if it doesn't happen, then guess what? Not the setup. I'm not saying it needs to be exactly like this drawing, but it needs to look something like this, you know what I mean? Otherwise, look, you're still just in the range. Something like this needs to happen. We need to have a strong move and retest and then reject. If you're trading inside here, you're okay with the price. That's what I'm telling you. On the break of blue, all you can ask for is to this level right here. That's all you can ask for. I stated this, I don't even know how long ago. Probably, I don't know, right after I made the blue. It had to be right after I made the blue. You can only ask for this, that's it. When you're in a tight, outside the range, different story. So here's the next thing. If this isn't gonna happen, like, take a screenshot of this. If that's not gonna happen, then here's the other thing. Then it has to look like this, right? If it doesn't look like this, it means that's not enough liquidity grab. That's what I'm telling you. Our safety today is going to be somewhere down here, somewhere up here. If you're trading inside here, then you know something I don't know. I'm not saying it's always going to work like this, right? Nothing's 100%, but you see the record. You see just following the strategy, break a blue, you put your stop above the last high, and then you embrace the retrace, and you go to your target. That's all you can ask for. This is in the homework. This is in lesson 8. And I get it. I know it, when you see these candles go against you immediately, you're like, oh God, what did I just do? Why? I get it. I know exactly how you're feeling. I've done it so many times. So eventually, that's why I'm telling you this takes time. Because eventually what's going to happen, you're going to get so frustrated by always getting faked out by the same exact, what do you call it? By the same exact pattern. And you're going to be like, you know what? Let me try something different. let me stop doing that. Right? Because you're going to touch the hot iron so many times until you're like, listen, I've been burned by this iron so many times. Let me wait for it to cool off. Or you're going to do something different. Let me throw it across the room by the cord. I don't know what you're going to do with the iron, but what I'm saying is that's why it takes time, because you need this experience. You know, hopefully you're getting the experience with paper trade, but I get it. You see money being made and you're like, oh, I could have made money here. I could have done this. I could have done that. I get it. You're no different than anybody else. We're all very similar. We're all more similar than we are different. If you're trading inside of this range, you're okay with the price. If the price doesn't do something like this, then that's not our setup. But I'm not glad that this happened, but I knew this was gonna happen. Why? Because 9 times out of 10 it does happen. It breaks the liquidity level, you embrace the retrace, you go to your key level. That's all you can ask for. Everything happened perfectly. So look, it's gonna be either this, what you see, the inverse, or it's gonna be the same thing we just put. This right here. One of these things is gonna happen. And it's gonna happen within this range. So if you're okay with this range, you're okay with the range. If you can, you know, stomach this volatility, then that's on you. And I know this looks messy to people on YouTube. You got to join the Discord. If it looks messy, I get it, but it's a controlled environment. It's a controlled environment in here. Send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted out. What the hell? Oh my God, the language. So at some point up here, you had to know when this inverse head and shoulders was invalidated, right? You had to know that this invalidated this inverse head and shoulders. And now you wait for your setup. See, look, we had our alert go off. Now we're waiting for the setup. So let me clean up the chart just a bit for fresh eyes who are like, what is going on here? Now you got to measure risk to reward. If it does break, because you're like, oh look, it broke blue here, so maybe blue here again, you got to measure risk to reward. From here to here, is that worth it? Is that worth it to go from here to here? That's what you got to ask yourself. And then you're risking the opportunity that it breaks and just cascades without you. That's the opportunity risk. But we've identified the risk, right? Come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. Don't get all crazy now. So we're in magenta until we're not. We are in magenta until we're not. Okay. Okay, again, you broke your blue, you put your stop above the last high. If you can't collect by now, the same thing just happened. It's the same thing. Look at the look at the what is it? Okay. And I'd like to shout out the OG who pointed out the 30-minute OG. Look at the OG. Look at the OG coming through. Look at the OG. Look. It's almost like we knew exactly what was going to happen. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. If you're sitting here on YouTube, seeing what's happening right in front of your face and you're still questioning it, I don't even know what to tell you. Look at the financial gains we are happy, very fortunate to accept today. Look what's happening. Come on now. And you know, and there's still going to be people skeptical. There's still going to be people skeptical, even though we just went over it right here. Again, the same setup. The same setup. We identified blue. I told you we're in magenta until we're not. Look at, and I told you, don't worry. If you took a little loss here, don't worry. Now you know. Now you know. Now the blood's in the water. We know we're in chop. As soon as we faded, look at look, this is textbook. Look at the money we printed. Oh, I gotta stop saying that. Look, I mean, it doesn't get any better. It just doesn't. The sniper entries. Do you see why we stick to the strategy? This is why we stick to it. For this moment right here. You can't let one little loss. We don't care about a lot. Not that we don't care, but you have to understand. The losses tell you what's going to happen next. I told you. It's fine. Now there's blood in the water. Now you don't start revenge trading. Now we wait for the setup. What's the setup? Blue. I told you exactly when it was going to happen. This is no surprise to us. We do this every day. You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss a thing. This is nothing new to us, okay? Look at the financial gains we are stacking right now. OG pointed out the Pink Ranger. Oh, OG. Look at the OG with the Pink Ranger call out. OG don't miss. Short-term success, yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay over here. We know what's going on. We are okay. Look at that short-term financial success. Oh, I'm so glad you all are here with me. I'm so blessed to be here with you all right now. People that really, really believe in me and really support me and believe in yourself. It's not even about me. This is about yourself. I'm so blessed to have this moment with you all. You have no idea. This means a lot to me. Just to enjoy this day. Just seeing everybody grow is amazing. It's actually amazing. Today's been a good day. Today's been a good day. Oh my goodness. The trader OG came through with the breakup. Look at the short-term financial gain. As long as you stick to your exit strategy, which we talked about ad nauseum, look, you're fine. You are fine. We don't even know. The sky's the limit from here. You get the 5 right here. What do you? Don't overstay your welcome. Take what you're comfortable with. But if you're still sitting there on the sideline on YouTube, and you're trying to make this happen, and you're not in this Discord, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. Wow. Completely amazing. Completely amazing. There is not one person watching YouTube. That's fine. Oh my goodness. There's not one person watching this YouTube. No one knows. No, they have me shadow banned. No, it's okay. It's for us. It's for us. This is for us. It doesn't matter. Look at the short-term financial gains. Nothing more needs to be said. We knew everything that was going to happen. We knew everything that was going to happen. Oh my goodness. I told you, don't worry about this little L right here. Don't worry about that. Blood's in the water. Now we know. We have identified the chop. We just needed to break this chop. Where? On the blue. If you wanted safety on the blue, if you wanted more safety, we set our alerts. We wait for the setup. Everything happened just as we planned. And we even said that this inverse head and shoulders here was invalidated on this candle. I said that very clearly. It got invalidated here, so we know what the microstructure was, right? We knew the microstructure to help us. Like, right, this is in order to translate this 30-minute right here, it was this. It was this little micro cup and handle, inverse cup and handle. We had a good day. We had a good day. Now look, next setup. It's either gonna be this. Or we're gonna get continuation, right? So wait for up here for calls. Calls is gonna be up here. There's no one watching on YouTube. That's insane. Not one person. It's just me talking to myself. That's fine. Yeah, I do this for you all for you all that are actually, you know, you show up to work every day. This is why you're doing it. This is why you're doing it right here. We want to sustain safe, a consistent income. This is how we're gonna. This is the only way it can work. This is the only way it can work. Now I'm sure there's people out there that have some magical microphone or magical cell phone number of the stock market, and they just know. Okay. And it's really sad that people are actually like spending money on that. That's just, I don't know. I mean, maybe it works. Maybe it's got some results. I don't know, but that's not for me to decide. Be careful here. Don't ever stay your welcome, right? You see you're in between two zones now. Be careful. Let me clean up the chart just a bit. We can't jump on every goddamn... Somewhere up here, okay? I mean, honestly, we should be done. We should be done for the day. This is the move. This is one and be done. Oh, wow. Look at this candle here. Okay. Well, that's an interesting candle right here. Your safety is going to be up here still. That doesn't change anything. We're not going to let one candle dictate our entire strategy. That's not a thing. I didn't spend years doing this just for one candle to change it up, so it's got to be somewhere up here. I know it looks juicy down here, trust me, I know, but we're far below the water. Let's look at higher time frame. Oh geez. Okay, so on this 5 minute, you see the flexion. I mean, damn, I drew it pretty goddamn close. I drew it pretty close. So let's see if it retests whatever 670.16. For some reason, I have the flexion here. Yeah, we'll see if we get up here. I don't know how I did this, but it seems to be working. Seems to be working. Right, we're far below the water now. You gotta wait minimum up here. You're too far below the water to start calling reversals. You're too far below the water. Good. Again, if we're up, we don't need to sit here and trade all day. Like, take your wins and move on. Like, you have to grow the account. You're never going to grow the account if you're constantly sitting here just trying to get every single greedy little copper penny out of this thing. It's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You have to know when to say, I've won. I can leave a winner. And you can be happy with today. And you know, you're going to look back at the charts and you'd be like, God damn, I would have taken this play. I would have taken that play. I would have done this. I would have done that. I know everything you're saying. I know it. I know everything you're already thinking. And this is, you know, I'm going to repeat the same thing over and over and over until it becomes ingrained in your head. That if you sit here and keep trading after you just take a big win like that, or even a little win, it doesn't, like, you did the hard part. Or even if you got back to break even because you got stopped out in this and over here somewhere, like, you've done the hard part. Why put yourself through any more stress? You got to measure risk to reward from blue to key level now, right? Hold on. We can't start revenge trading here. We can't start being overconfident here. You have to understand liquidity. We need to break liquidity. That's just the answer. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to get 100% of the move, but we're going to get enough to sustain our lifestyle. If you're asking for more than that, then you're being greedy. And I'm telling you, it doesn't work like that. I'm not even convinced this blue formed. I'll leave it here. I'm not convinced this blue's even formed yet. You have to understand, these are, you know, these are algorithms. When I'm drawing these trend lines, these are algorithms. So I've learned to identify the algorithms. And that takes time. If you're trying to do that, it's not going to happen like that. I recommend you follow me, and over time it'll happen. I know this is going to happen. This is just how human beings are wired. Unless you're not a human being and you're a goddamn bot, this is how human beings are wired. It'll happen. It just takes time. Instead of you trying to front run it, let me do the heavy lifting, and you're gonna have your time in the sun. Just let me do this. You understand the lessons, learn the lessons, understand your risks. Okay. Hold on, I need to focus real quick. Okay. I'm still here. I'm just focusing. Give me a second. Okay. All right. The 5's really close. Hold on, I'm here. I'm just focusing. Okay. Come on. I want, I don't know, 2 more candles to close. Man, 2 minutes seems like goddamn eternity sometimes. Okay. I'm here, I'm just focused. I really want this candle to hurry up and goddamn close. It needs to close like right here. Okay, even better. Let's go. Okay. All right. Ah, oh, don't do that. It's okay. My trade's protected. I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to let whatever happens, happens. I'm still here. I'm focused. Hold on. Okay. Okay, survived it. There it is. There it is. Survived it. There it is. Survived it. I got a late fill on this one too. I got filled in somewhere in here. I got a late fill on this one. I put my stop up here. I survived this. Okay. Can't lose from here. Don't care what happens. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh shit. Okay. Look at the short-term financial gains we're experiencing right now. Oh yes. Oh my, look at the short-term financial gains we're accumulating. All right, trade protected, I'm good. Oh man, I went heavy on this. If it stops me out, I'm gonna stop out. Come on. If I can get a little bit more, I'll be happy. Okay, that's fine. I'll take the scalp. I'll take the scalp. If I need to get back in, I will. I don't want to overstay my welcome, but the 5's right here, man. Truth is, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I need to go, I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on. Don't overtrade. Look, the 5's right there, so be careful. Okay, I'm back. Did anyone take this? The shoulder right here? I know I did. I know I did. Oh, we had such a good day. We had such a good day. And this is why we do it, for days like today. For days like today. I got you, brother. I got you, brother. That's why we're all here. Look at the money that... Look at this money we just printed. Oh my goodness. Okay. If you're waiting for this, wait for it. at the money we printed today. It's unreal. It seems fake. It seems like it's not real. Look at the money. Does it get any better? I mean, it literally can't get any better than this. All right, we got key level here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we get a little dance in here. Now, if this doesn't happen, you gotta watch out for this. Watch. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna take this away. Here's what you gotta look out for. So we're gonna look for this or this. Cool? Anywhere in between here? No man's land. Got it? Everyone clear? Let me get some confirmation in the chat just so I know everyone's paying attention. Okay. So like this or like this. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck in no man's land. Very simple. You don't need to think anymore. You don't have to think. Allow the market to tell you what's going to happen. Just allow it to happen. Good. Perfect. That's what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing. Right? Be done for the day. Don't be sitting here greedy trying to get every copper penny you can. That's not how this works. I mean, look at this amazing day we had. Simply, I mean, shit. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. Now the important thing, don't try to get ahead of me. Allow this to happen. You have to go through a certain process. There's steps to this. There's levels to it. Don't try to get ahead of me. Let me lead you for a little bit because I'm training you to be a leader. I'm not training you to be a follower. Everyone else on the internet, they're going to train you to follow them. I'm training you to be a leader. And it's going to take time. Don't front run this. If this is something you really want, then don't front run it. You need to see consistent wins. You need to be consistent. And sometimes consistency means getting out when you're ahead. And being okay with the opportunity loss, because we always know we have more opportunities. It's not like the opportunity's gone. Once you start to understand risk, you're gonna scale your account different. You're gonna be making forfeit. Eventually, if you stick with me long enough, I'm not a guarantee, but I'm willing to say, 4-figure days are going to be normal. It's going to be normal. It just takes time. Don't try to front run it. Don't try to get ahead of me. Stop trying to find the flaws in the system. I've already worked them all out. Don't try to find the flaws. Find how it's going to work out for you. Eventually, you're going to get tired of missing out on whatever you're missing out on. Eventually it's gonna happen. I know it. It just takes time. Allow it to happen. If you're not in a trade, there's no reason to get involved here, right? This is no man's land. We need to make sure we break liquidity. very simple. We don't have to overcomplicate this. I don't need 16 screens in front of me. I don't need a whole bunch of indicators. I don't need any of that. We didn't even trade off indicators. We use price action, we use analysis, we use data. That's what we go off of. If you're hearing people going off of vibes and they're telling you that they can feel the market X, Y, and Z, get away from these people. Get away from these people, because it's not true. It's just not true. Now we're in magenta until we're not, right? We're in magenta until we're not. And then not only do we, look, do you see, look, come on now, there's nothing more. There's nothing more I can do. There's absolutely nothing more I can do. I mean, listen, it takes time. You'll get it. You'll get it. I know you will, because you're going to see me doing the same thing over and over, and eventually it's going to click, and you see the OGs, you know, they're making their call outs too. Okay, yeah, look for the pattern. Exactly, look for patterns, because the market it's all patterns. It's all patterns. The hard part, I'd say, is probably generating the algo in enough time, because after the fact, anyone could look at the algo and be like, oh, okay, here it is. I'm connecting tops and bottoms. I'm doing it before it happens, right? I called this one out way before it happened. Way before it happened. So it takes time. That's the hard part. It's not connecting tops and bottoms. I actually have a video on it, and I tried to get into it, but it's so convoluted. When I went back and looked at it, I'm like, this is convoluted. I think I did like a 20-minute lesson on it at the end of a real lesson. I just wanted to touch on it because I know people are, you know, wondering how the hell. I get it. It looks funky. It looks weird. It doesn't look natural, but the only thing I can say is it takes time. Don't try to front run it. Don't try to get ahead of me. You gotta earn the stripes. You gotta earn your stripes, and sometimes earning stripes means taking a loss. You need to get that beating. You need to take that beating. I know it sounds uncomfortable, but this is the truth. Because you have to tell your psyche, you know, every time I go in on hunches or vibes or one candle, I get disappointed. You need to feel that disappointment to know what you want to avoid. I want to avoid the disappointment. And if I keep doing the same thing over and over, disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. And then you see a strategy that's working religiously working. Whether you like it or not, whether the candles look, whether the pattern goes the way you want it or not, it works. Now, I'm not saying it works 100% of the time. What I am, because, you know, there's going to be things like a stop hunt, and there's nothing you can do about that. What I am saying is that we have enough data to prove that we have a consistent strategy. Right? Now, I don't recommend going in on heads, stuff like this. I always recommend the shoulder. So we're not going to get 100% of the move, but I'm identifying risk. I'm identifying risk. I'm not telling you go in on the head here. Go. I'm not doing that. It's always a right shoulder or a handle. And I know you may feel like we're missing out on the move and yada yada yada, but I'm not here to gamble people's money. I know everyone's in here with their hard-earned money, and also there's a level of trust. Look at the money. Also, there's a level of trust I believe that you have to have in order to do what you're doing with me. And I don't want to violate that trust. I am not going to violate the trust by trying to flex and trying to look cool. I'll tell you when I'm trying to look cool. I'll tell you. But, you know, if I'm telling you this is the setup, if you're going in before then, that's on you. Then that means you're going beyond me. And if you know something I don't, then that's fine. But if you're here and you're paying hard-earned money to be here, you might as well use it to your advantage. Use the secure strategy to your advantage. You know, we have data to prove it. We don't need to think too much. Oh, come on now. Come on. Now look at the pattern here, right? You see the pattern? So be careful on break of, because it might form a secondary liquidity here. So be careful on the break of, because you can only ask for key level. And then beyond this, we're going to get to this key level. Doesn't mean it has to happen. I'm just showing you highest probability of success. This has been an absolutely phenomenal. Look at them. And again, I don't want you to trade like me. I need you to trade like you. Trade like you. Don't trade like me. You don't have my risk tolerance. This is all about risk tolerance. I don't know what your bank account can tolerate. I don't know what your emotions can tolerate. I'm not there with your greasy little fingers clicking everything all the time, knowing damn well how the strategy works. You know how the strategy works, but you're still clicking around for some reason. You're still moving your stop. You're trying to stop the bleeding, when you don't understand that you have to embrace the retrace. Because the retracement is what builds the liquidity you need for the move in the direction you want. Once you identified we took out certain levels of liquidity, you need to have some level of confidence that it has to go to the next level. The orders have to be filled. They have to be filled. This is just, you know, how it works. If you have 10 people with buy orders, and then you have 7 people with sell orders, then the buy orders are going to win, right? And then the next people who want to get filled obviously have to get filled at a higher level. They have to get filled at a higher level. So we're waiting to see who's going to win. If you're trading in the middle of the water, then that means you know something I don't. If you're waiting for liquidity to break, that makes more sense. That's your highest probability. This is the facts. I don't care what anyone else tells. And we don't know we don't know if someone's going to hit buy or sell at any given moment, right? There's institutional investors that have their algorithms already set. And then there's people that say, hey, look, we need to strategize because whatever their strategy is, X, Y, and Z happen. We got $500 million. We're going to do this order here because we need to manipulate the market. We don't know when that's going to happen. We have to see who's going to win. Stop having a bias. Wait for the thing to happen. I'm telling you, we're in the middle of the water here. It's either going to be up here or down here. Do you see why I'm saying that? It's happening right in front of your face. Could you have caught this? Sure. Sure you could. But your highest probability of a win is probably somewhere down here. And it's not going to be as sexy as catching it from up here. I get it. It's not going to be as sexy. But, you know, I'm promoting consistent profit, not risky profit. If we want to be consistent, we need to wait for the structure. We need to wait for the setup. We have to identify our macro algo. We have to identify our micro and make sure that the micro and the macro match up. We need to have confluence. It can't be off of vibes. We don't operate like that. It can't work like that. I've tried vibes. I've tried it. I've tried even, you know, basically flipping coins, if I'm honest. It's basically what I used to do, is basically flipping a coin. And then I remember I was stuck on indicators. I'm like, okay, indicators are strategies. Let me try indicator, and that just don't work. If indicators worked, everyone would do it. Everyone would be rich if indicators worked. You don't have to catch every single leg and every single move. Sometimes it's okay to say, hey, look, I've done my job today. Let the market do whatever it's going to do. I'm going to show up tomorrow and do the same thing. You can't be consistent if you're constantly gambling your money and taking losses because you're trying to get every dime. You're never going to reach consistency. It's just not going to happen. And I know you feel, oh, look, I could have got in here and sure, you could always say that. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Everyone's going to say that. You're in magenta until you're not, and that's the answer. I really didn't even get a chance to mess with the 5 minute. My fault. I didn't get a chance to mess with the 5 minute chart. So on the 5 minute, it's either going to do this. It's either going to give us a inverse right here, or we're going to get continuation. And then look to see where your safety is. It's all the way down here. This is where your safety is, somewhere down here at 68.25-ish. And then why is this your safety? Because you need to know all these calls got stopped out. We need all these calls to get stopped out. That's why it's your safety. Let me see if that even aligns. 41. I think I have 41 marked on the 5, so it says somewhere here, but we can get our sniper entries using the 1. Look, I told you, you're in the middle of the water here. You're in the middle of the water. So allow them. Here, I'm going to clean up the chart. Allow them to figure it out. Allow them to figure it out. Okay? We don't need to sit here and try to guess. We'll know. Once it gets figured out, we'll know. We don't have to guess. That's the beauty. That's the beautiful part of this. We're just identifying risk, and we're taking the highest probability of a win. So until something like that happens, there's no trade. You're just in the middle of the water. Yeah, it's not I don't like to complicate this stuff. A lot of people like to complicate this and try to make themselves seem like there's some type of gift to the stock market world, or I don't even know what they think. I'm not going to try to supplant my own thoughts about them, but I just seen some really egregious things over the last few days, and I think it's predatory. If I'm being honest, I think it's very predatory. The way people try to play off your emotions, and they're constantly posting they're posting things that you can't verify, like, oh, look how much I won today. They're posting things you can't possibly verify that are easily AI manipulated or Photoshop manipulated, whatever. Okay. Hold on, I gotta focus. Look at, I told you, look, again, I told you, if you wanted to go on this one, fine. You know there's second, look at the, goodness. Come on now. It actually doesn't get any better. Mr. Wilson, you see what's happening, brother. You see what's happening. Look at this. This is safety. Like, we didn't have to. I told you, we're in magenta until we're not. We're in magenta until we're not. Look at the. I don't even need to say it. I don't need to say it. Okay. This is happening right in front of your face. Don't feel FOMO if you didn't take the trade. We do it every day. Do not feel FOMO. Oh, okay. Today's been an amazing day. Undisputed. I get it. That's the opportunity risk, right? That's the opportunity risk we're taking. The criteria is the break of whatever. And then the retest is going to be when you put your stop where it should be, above your last high. Look at, oh man. I mean, hold on. Let me look at this look. I even told you where the safety was over here. Look, there's nothing more I can do. There's absolutely nothing more I can do. It's okay. Don't feel FOMO if it didn't meet your criteria on a break and retest, then it didn't meet your criteria. It didn't meet your criteria. Eventually what's going to happen, Ron, is you'll see the pattern and you'll know, you know what? I'm willing to take this, or it takes time, brother. It takes time. Don't be upset with the trades that you don't take, because if it doesn't fit your criteria, you can't be upset. If it doesn't look good to you, this takes time for it to look good to you, right? It's not gonna, it takes time. I don't want you to force it. Don't trade my comfort level. Trade your comfort level. My comfort level is very different, I promise you. Oh my goodness. Today's been absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal day. I recommend you all get together, because when I'm charting, I can't come back and forth and look at the chat, because I'm very focused on trying to provide the best value I can. What I recommend you all do is stop overthinking, number one, because I'm doing all the work. Yeah. Let me do all the work. Let me do the work, and I'm not going to be right 100% of the time, but we got a good record. But you guys need to get together in here and say, hey, what do you guys think about this break of who's going in if this happens, right? You're going to find strength in numbers. You're going to find strength in numbers. I mean, I want you guys to report who's taking wins, who's taking losses, so we know, right? Who we're gonna not lean on, but just to have some confluence. That's what I'm saying. This is why we're in here as a family. No. Yeah. Done for the day. That's it. Just be done. We made money. Mr. Wilson, you had a pretty good day today. So no. Stick to your business plan. This is a business. I'm not offering. This is a business. This is a business. This is not. Now we're near to the 5. You got to be careful here, right? And yeah, I'm probably gonna call it too, because this is gonna be hectic in here. The fact is, we're in this magenta until we're not. That's I don't know what else to say. But talk to each other. Talk to each other. No. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to be aggressive. You need to identify the risk that you're comfortable with. See, these emotions that you're feeling right now, this is what leads you to revenge trading. Because now you're gonna want to jump in on everything. No. Yeah. You gotta. The emotion is gonna eat you up, and it's gonna make you jump in on everything. Every candle's. You're gonna start to. That's when the revenge trading starts. This is a business, right? You have to understand, if you own a car dealership and your criteria is you need a 720 to buy this car, and if someone with a 620 rolls in, sorry, you don't qualify. This is my business. I'm not going to allow you to ruin my business. Now, as long as you're consistent, that's all that matters, brother. We want consistency, because even the little tiny 30-cent moves, you know, when you scale properly, it's going to be a lot of money. This is all a part of our business plan, man. This is all a part of the business. We go level by level. We take what we can get. There's no guarantee. We don't know who's going to hit buy or sell. We don't know that. So if you didn't take a trade, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't know who's going to hit the buy or sell button. All we do know is we need liquidity to break. Once that liquidity breaks, we look for our setup. Once that setup happens, you know, we have 1-2 opportunities here. Even if you really want, I'm not going to count this one. I'm not going to count this one. But look at this one up here. This was the head up here. I'm not going to count this one because I always say we like shoulders, right? So a shoulder here, and then technically the shoulder was here. I drew it. Remember the shoulder over here? And then I said measure risk to reward here. This one just completely momentum candled out. So there's nothing you can really do about that. You just have to, you know, there's nothing you can do about that. I get it, because look how fast this one filled. And then the next one immediately. So then if you try to get on this candle, it's going to be volatile. And you're worried that it's going to stop you out before you even... I get it. Like, I've been there. You're not going to... Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Well, here's the good thing about that. Waiting and being prepared. We do it every day. We do it every day. This is not something like an anomaly, like you're only going to get this opportunity and now the opportunity's gone. That's not true. We do this every single day. You're just seeing the candles stack and cascade one after another, and you're thinking, I know I would have held for this. I know I could have got a good... I know what you're thinking. I already know. You're reflecting. You're reflecting on what could have been. You need to be okay with your business plan. Come up with your plan and stick with it. Right? We see the fives right here. We know it's going to have a little dance. This is all a part of the plan. We knew the 5 was right here. Most likely target. Oh, man. But, you know what? We're all green. So, you know, you gotta be thankful for that. You can't... You're doing the hard thing. You're doing the thing that a lot of people don't have the courage to do, and a lot of people don't even have the sense to do. Let me tell you. Look at them. Look at this. Look at this 5-minute chart. I even told you where the safety was. I said below 68.19. I made sure it made sense on the where is it? Right here. Oh, okay, 68.19. Or is it 68.08? All right, a little bit off. But even if you did 19 was right here. So it's also difficult to chart a 1 minute, a 5 minute, paying attention to the 30 minute, trying to make lick boxes. trying to make algo. It's not easy, man. I'm trying my hardest. I don't know if there's anyone out there working as hard as me, but I'm working for you all. I am working. Exactly. Every day, even in a tight range. Hold on, my computer just started doing some weird stuff. Oh, okay. Man, hold on. My computer's showing me weird stuff, but it's not showing up on the stream, so I guess that's okay. Okay, we're back. Even in a tight range, we were still able to make something, right? On this break of blue right here, even in a tight range. Even yesterday we were able to, look at yesterday. We were able to put in work in this tight range as well. Oh, what I wanted to say yesterday, when I was like, look, everyone's waiting for this thing to break. Everybody and their mom is waiting for this thing to break. Your best bet is to wait for the break, retest, and reject, because we want to look out for the stop hunt. That's exactly what happened. So break, retest, reject is always going to be the go-to. But, you know, sometimes you get things like this and you can't do anything about it. You got to be okay with that loss. With the opportunity loss, you didn't actually take a loss. It's the opportunity loss you're thinking about. It's just opportunity loss. It's not actual loss. And you got to be okay with that. This is the name of the game. Here's what you should feel comfort in. Feel comfort in the fact, because I'm telling you, this is a fact. It will happen eventually, and it takes time. Eventually, you're gonna see the pattern so much. You're gonna hear me say the same things over and over again, and it's just gonna be a little more natural to you. It comes in chunks and it comes in waves. It doesn't happen all at once. Now I see your progress. I see you're much more reserved and you're probably not revenge trading as much. Now you're just upset you're not getting everything you should be getting from it, and this is where you implement your stop loss strategy. So we've identified, I remember me and you, we had actually I went in with everybody. We identified that the entries are not the problem. The problem is, so your buy entries, those aren't the problem. The problem is your stop entries. That's the problem. Because you're either stopping yourself before it gets into profit for a loss, because you're not placing your stop losses appropriately, because you're not letting it breathe, or you're chasing it too soon and you're not letting the winners win. So we identified that the buy entry is not the issue, and we did that mathematically, because we have our win rate to show us that the buy entries aren't the issue, it's the stop entries. So this is why I did lesson 8. Lesson 8 was the whole that was the whole reason I did lesson 8. Is to do hold on, I gotta do this lick box. A blue didn't form here, so there's no actual blue here. It didn't form. I'm just putting it here, but it has not formed. So I'm just letting you know. Don't. And then blue, you got to measure risk to reward on blue to the 5. There's a lot of liquidity at the 5. If this thing wants to grab from the 5 and shoot up, that's not unbelievable. Your best bet for puts is going to be underneath the 5 at this point on a break and retest. And I'm not talking about one candle break and retest. I'm talking about a full movement of a break and retest. Not just one candle. If it does happen one candle, my bad. But I'm trying to prevent the erosion of the account. And this is the best way. You're gonna have to believe me. Let me see what you're saying. Your entries were a problem. Was, right? You said past tense, was. Now you're a little more reserved. You're identifying the risk better, and you're entering not so much. I don't think you're over trading as much. This is what I'm seeing from my perspective, right? I'm probably not in the chat as much as I should be, but it's really hard to to do both, right? To be in the chat and to chart, and you know, 2 different charts, 3 different charts. It's difficult, but from what my estimation, I'm seeing that you're getting okay. Good. At least you know that. I see that. I can see that from a mile away. You're getting much better. Now, this is where you start refining your skill. And don't worry, because we do it every day, right? It's not like it's going anywhere. The market will be here. And if it goes down, great. We like when the market goes down. We don't care what the direction. Now, choppy days, you know, not every day is going to be a trading day. That's the thing. Not every day is a trading day. I think the last 2 days, probably not trading days. Were we still able to make money? Yeah, sure. Not every day is a trading day. Some days, if you own a laundry shop, it rains, people don't show up to do laundry. But you still got to pay the water bill, you still got to pay the light bill, you still got to show up to work. If this is your business, then we have to treat it as such and have respect for it. Yeah, not every day is a trading day, and Monday and Tuesday was a really good example of that. And I'm probably gonna call it here soon. I'm gonna end YouTube, and I'll be in the Discord in a second. YouTube, it's been a pleasure. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, please send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted out. I'm offering a free 24-hour session so you can get inside of the inner sanctum of LiveSPYTrading yourself, and you can see how we do business here. I would probably recommend for a Friday, because on Friday, if you send me the request on Friday, you're gonna get the whole weekend to explore the channel. So, YouTube, it's been a pleasure. We had a great session today. Goodbye.